Linda, it's so lovely to meet you here. Whereabouts are you from in New Zealand?
I'm here from Waimate in the South Island.
Oh, beautiful. And what brought you up here, all the way to Wellington? What was it you wanted to register?
It's about our freedoms that we have lost. And number one, though, were the people that had the adverse reactions that aren't being heard. And it's a crime against humanity. That's what breaks my heart, to see these people that have been suffered. They were healthy people, and now they are so unwell. And where is the compassion? Where is the compassion of our health workers? You know, that broke my heart.
Where is the compassion of the people in the beehive who have got them to take these jabs? Person after person I interview says there is no protocol in place when you're injured. There's nothing. They're sent home and told to look after themselves.
And it's also for our children and my grandchildren, for all children. I stood outside our local council with a beautiful friend of mine, and we held a sign saying unity for our community. And an elderly lady was walking out of the library and she said to me, "What does unity mean?" And I said, "It's togetherness, it's us being united as one, where there's no segregation or discrimination." She said to me, "What do you mean?" And I said, if there's a 12-year-old child that is not jabbed, they cannot go into our library and choose the library book anymore. That is segregation and discrimination. What is it doing to that beautiful young child? And she was unaware of that. She had no idea. And she said to me, when I return my books, I'm going to go in and tell them that this is wrong. All children should be able to use our library.
How about all Kiwis?
Yeah, all Kiwis, definitely. Yeah. And in Oamaru, they are still open. You can actually go to the library. You know, they've got common sense and love and compassion. You know.
Good respect to Oamaru for that.
Yes.
So what would you say? I say to a lot of people that's looking down that camera, to Jacinda Ardern, pretend she's just walked out here in Parliament, and she said, "Hi, Linda." What would you say, Jacinda Ardern?
I would say, Jacinda, stop this. Hear the voices of the people. Be true to your heart and really change what you're doing. You move across that line. Be one of us. Care for the unity of people.
And, you know, on mainstream media, they're saying it's all, you know, this ragtag bunch of sort of ruffians who are throwing feces around. It's filthy. And have you seen any of that here?
I haven't.
Well, you're definitely not that. You're definitely not that.
I mean, there has been a little, I mean, I haven't seen it in the grounds. There has been a little bit out there, but that's the diversity of people. And it's people have come here with their own feelings and emotion, and so this is a good healing place to be united with like-minded people, where you can actually think, okay, what is it what is true in my heart? And to me, this is a tribe of love and unity and freedom. We need our rights back.
So did you believe in Ardern at the beginning? Did you think she was a good Prime Minister, and when this all broke out, this might be a bowler? Gosh, it's joyful over there. They're all playing basketball and having fun. Isn't it gorgeous?
Isn't it?
They're just roaring
children.
with delight.
No, I didn't believe it. My intuition, I knew there was something not right from the start. And I just followed my intuition.
Did it feel good though when you stood outside the community centre and said the local government and had that sign and you were being true to yourself? What did you feel inside?
I felt actually so liberated for the first time. You know, we often walk around feeling we've been cloned into this way of being and thinking.
Yes.
And
through fear. Through fear.
False evidence appearing real.
Fear, F-E-A-R, yes.
Yep. And the energy of words is so powerful. And so I actually replace fear with love. And I come from a place in my heart. I wish love for everyone. And pro-choice, you choose what you want. We all need choice and have that respected.
And when you stood up with that amount of courage, you were saying you felt liberated. What does that mean? Explain that.
It was being my true self. It wasn't being controlled by the social norms and of just being, like putting on the lipstick and going out there
pretending.
It was my true self coming from my heart.
Because you're so powerful, Linda, and it's so liberating to stand up and be true to ourselves, our moral core, isn't it?
It is.
Let's go and watch these boys play basketball. This is so gorgeous. Look at the joy of this. They're just kids playing, having so much fun. It's just so, this is not a place where kids are suffering, as the media is saying. And they're just so joyful.
And look at all the well-being in here.
All the well-being. Yeah. This must be so healing for these kids. No masks, no fear, no lies anymore. And all Kiwis from all backgrounds. Look at it coming together.
I'll tell you what's happened yesterday. This was so powerful. I was walking with a friend to the Ibis Hotel, and there was a young boy in a yellow car, and he's not filming us.
Well, no, we won't put it up if you don't want it. You don't want this film?
I don't know.
Tell me, because we'll see.
So we watched.
We can cut it if you don't want it.
We watched this young boy in his car. It was a police van with 9 police and another police car and a police motorbike, and they just surrounded him. And he got out of the car, and we thought, what's he done? But we just sat there on the steps. And while I was sitting on the steps, a woman whose son goes to Auckland Grammar was telling me about the bullying going on there. Her son is the only one out of 2,700 boys that is not jabbed, and he's been deprived of going on school camp. So we were having these conversations. This is the unity of our new community, of sharing and open compassion and love. But anyway, we just watched this young man, and we're thinking, what's going on here? So and then they even brought the paddy wagon. We're thinking, what has this guy done?
How many police was it again?
So there was 9 in one van.
Oh,
then
my God.
There were 2 in a police car. There was a policeman on a motorbike. There were so many police for this young 18-year-old Rarotongan boy.
Oh my God.
So anyway, when most of them left, there were still 2 there, and they made him put on a mask and take a photo of him with all his offences. And so when most of them had left, we said, hey, come here, you okay? And he goes, of course he's not okay. I said, of course you're not okay. I said to him, would you like a hug? And he goes, no, but do you? And I said, yes, please. So I gave him a hug, and so did my friend. And then he said, oh, when I go home, I'm going to get a beating because I'm Rarotongan. And I said, what did you do? And he goes, I was doing burnouts outside here. I said, you scallywag. I said, but look, in the big picture of life, it's not that bad. You're young, you know, you've got to stop and think. So we were like the aunties. There were 4 women around him.
The kuya.
And then one of them, this woman from Auckland, she goes, where do you live? About 30 minutes away. I'm going to organise a taxi for you to get home. We just surrounded, you know, he works as a carpenter and all his tools were in this. His car's now been impounded for 6 months.
What?
And he's got 2, because he might have not had registration. He did have about 3 or 4 sheep.
Yeah.
But, you know, just that was so poignant. It was us all nurturing him, and we actually laughed and said, you know, please, you know, you make a mistake once, learn from it, you're young. Please stop and think before you act. And this was nice too. There was actually the policeman in the passenger seat. He heard us saying this because we don't agree with what he was doing. So we were saying, come on, wake up. You're a beautiful young man. And you don't need to have this kind of stuff happening to you. And I said, but we've all been there. We've done it, you know. And so then we got him and I could see the love from him. And he went home knowing, he said, it's going to be okay. I'll just get a bit of a... But that's their culture, you know, and even though it's not right.
But he went home with love.
He went home with love, knowing that we all loved him. And he turned to us, because I said, I love you. And he said, I love you too. He had such a heart, you know. And I just think that we're all here together, and that's showing the unity and removing judgment. That is so powerful.
Your work with him was so much more powerful than the police, which that level of intimidation is out of order.
It was.
One policeman is enough to talk to him and say you're out of line. But the kuya, the wise older women of the community, this is the New Zealand we can create. Respect for each other, respect for the elders, and teaching the young how to behave properly with respect.
Definitely. But another thing that happened that really was quite upsetting, and it's all been hidden, when the government changed, suicide to accidental death.
It's appalling.
This young mum of this 14-year-old who's at Auckland Grammar, she told me her friend's 13-year-old son committed suicide last week. And there are many stories like that, you know, and it's wrong. You know, that's where my heart, that's why I'm here. I'm here to defend our young people. They are our future generation, and we have to make it better for them, and we will. We will. I have total trust that we're going to do it.
With love.
With love.
It is so cynical if Kiwis are not aware that this government, say that again, has changed suicide to a new term.
Yes.
Called
accidental death.
And that is clearly to be able to play with the numbers so that the huge numbers of suicides from their policies do not come back and bite them. So now we need to look at the numbers of accidental deaths, but a transparent government doesn't do that.
No.
That is very cynical. What would you say about a government that hides behind the walls, that gets police to put barricades up, that changes words in a kind of communist way, like communist Russia back in the day?
They're tyrants. You know, that's the dark, and we are the light. That's why I'm wearing white.
Yes.
And this is what we need.
Yes, beautiful. It's really lovely to talk to you, Linda. Thank you. Thank you so much.